Are you scallywags? I am Captain James Hook. No, not really, but you know who I am. Welcome to Inside the Booth. I'm Dan Arena, the law. And Dreaming Tabitha is in the background doing something, so I will be saying hello first. Um, tonight, beautiful costume. What do you think? What do you think? This will be my next cosplay, I think. Anyways, tonight we are talking about Peter Pan and Hook and which movies were the movies that they were in. Which Peter Pan's better? Which Hook is better?
I vote that I'm the better Peter Pan. Just saying.
Yes.
I vote that I. Hello, people of the internet. It's me, Dreaming Tabitha, coming at you with my own Peter Pan costume. Dan's not the only one who can pull out the stops. You know, I've got even some pointy ears. It's not quite a crocodile finger, but I've got a gator hand on me. Yes, I do. So
Nice.
We can see who's doing it better. I mean, come on, guys, let us know.
Yeah. Who did it better, me or Tabitha? I probably won't keep my hook hand on forever, but I'll keep it on for now.
Yeah, kind of hard to control the mouse, and
exactly. We got Miss R2 saying Captain Dan and Tabitha Pan. That's it. I'm Captain Dan. This is Tabitha Pan.
Dreaming Pan, Dreaming Peter. I like Dreaming Peter. Let me go with that.
Dreaming Peter. Well, anyways, like I said earlier, we are talking about these two great characters right here. We have Captain James Hook and Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, based off of a novel, correct? Wasn't it like
Yes,
Barry, J.M. Barry?
Yes.
It's one piece of classic literature I have not read.
And also, these characters, not only are they in Disney, but they were way before Disney happened, obviously. And they had many movies, black and white movies of them. And then obviously Disney kind of made them famous, I would think.
Famous, sir?
Famous.
They were already famous.
Yeah.
Before movies, there were books,
That's true. But I'm just saying, when Disney hit it, it became more
widely known. Yeah.
Not everybody read books. Not everybody, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, that's true. A lot of people don't realize, at least not until a couple of years ago, a lot of people didn't realize that most of the Disney movies came from pieces of literature. They all thought they were like original ideas. And it was like,
no, they stole just like everybody else.
Like everybody else, right?
They are pirates, actually. I'll just say that.
Of course you would.
So we will start with let's start with the beautiful. Let me see here. Let's just start with the cartoon. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's probably everybody's go-to. Like, what they remember the most is going to be Disney's version of Peter Pan with an awesome cast. I think we're all pretty familiar with, the Lost Boys, Tiger Lily, of course, Tinkerbell. And, Tinkerbell's all cutesy and beautiful and what's not. But, you get older and you kind of watch that movie again and you're like, man, she's kind of a brat.
Yeah.
She's kind of a brat.
Thought I had this open here. But there we go. I got it.
There we go.
Mr. Pan, him and Hook had a rivalry. Another thing that Peter Pan did, or Disney did for Peter Pan, was make Peter Pan, I think, the good guy, right? Because I don't know, I didn't read the book either, but I know that there's been talk about how Peter Pan was kind of more the bad guy because he always was out kidnapping children. So I don't know. We can also talk about that because they kind of portray that in Once Upon a Time. So we could talk about that later.
It's true.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's always been an impish kind of boy, whether he
Right.
was
Well,
human, whether he was an elf, whether he's always been from Neverland, or whether he actually came from England. He's always been kind of a little rapscallion for
right.
sure.
A little cocky too, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if you
Sure.
can fly and you're the leader of the Lost Boys and you've got pirates that are afraid of you and trying to fight you, I mean, who wouldn't get a little egotistical? Am I right?
That's right. That's true. Too true. Too true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, this
Yeah.
Peter
So
Pan, what do you think about him?
this Peter Pan, the cartoon, yeah, he was good. The voice acting was good. The mannerisms were good. I mean, I thought he was a little cocky, but yeah, this one is the more widely known Peter Pan from from our childhood and stuff. Watching cartoons. Um, he was good. I don't think he was the best out of all the ones we're going to talk about, but he was a good one. I liked him.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a good portrayal, I think, of what they were going for with him. I will say he seems a little bit older than what I would originally anticipate Peter Pan to be. He's supposed to be a boy who doesn't grow up, and in this movie, I honestly could see him as a 15 or 16-year
That's
old.
what I was going to say. About 15 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, teenager, not a kid. He's not an adolescent. He's
Right.
he's a teenager. It seems like in these things. So, I don't know.
Made him
And
the leader because he was the oldest out of everybody.
he was the oldest, exactly. And I don't know. It kind of just makes you wonder because a lot of the Lost Boys, those are children, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so, how is Peter so much older than them?
Right.
Even in Peter and the Starcatchers, that's another rendition of Peter Pan, The Origins of Peter Pan. Fantastic book, by the way. Peter is still a young boy. He's not a teenager. So he probably is like 11 or so in the books. So I do think it's a little bit strange. The other thing is about Peter Pan, this is going to be across the board here, though. Like, he kind of is a seducer, if you think about it.
Right.
Like with Wendy and everything. It's just kind of funny across the board. Peter Pan, most of the movies anyway, has I mean, I like this Peter Pan. He fits the part. He's not my favorite, but he's good. For sure. There is one boy that let me see if I can find him that does Peter Pan in a way that I don't think is a bad version. And again, kind of it's a little bit scary just because again of this whole kind of I don't really want to say seduction, but honestly, you kind of think about it here. You got this kid here, hopefully he's popping up. And
yes.
this
was from Peter Pan 2003.
And he is a very good-looking boy. I will admit.
I didn't like his costume.
His costume, again, I'm not trying to be weird about this, but his costume was kind of
horrific.
It's not that it's horrific, it's suggestive, I think. I think honestly this outfit is it's got this Tarzan vibe to it, which honestly for me is inappropriate for viewers this age. Because he's already a very handsome young boy and he's got this attitude, he's got that smile and everything like that. I mean, he is in this movie, I have to say, I watched this today because I'd never seen it before in my life. And I remember all the girls talking about this kid, right? And
really?
Oh yeah, I remember all the girls love this boy. And
I don't know if I don't think his acting was on point though. His acting was a little stiff.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things, but
right. Here you go. I'll bring up another photo of him.
Yeah, do that because
look at that costume. Horrible.
I don't think it's a terrible costume, but I do think that it could use a little work. And again, I think it's very suggestive. They really made this young boy, in my opinion, for the audience because of the way girls reacted about him. They really made this boy kind of like a PG sex icon. Okay, I'm just saying from all the things. And
Right.
so,
I think he was about. You would think he was about 14, 15 in this one as well, right?
No, I'd say more on the side of 13.
Oh, you think so?
I
Okay.
do. I would say more, but in this one, there is okay. And I don't want to get too nitty gritty, but I'm going with all the girls that I grew up with, seeing this handsome boy. I'm just saying there was like a lot of weird sexual tension between him and Wendy in
Mm,
this particular film. There were
right.
a lot of those cut scenes where they're like dueling and they're getting close, and all of a sudden their faces are like really, really close together, and you can tell like he is smiling at her like he's like the Fonz, okay?
Right.
And I mean, I know, young people, teenagers and everything like that, there is an attraction, everything. I just think this was a little bit strange. So I
Yeah.
think he looks good. I think he makes for a good Peter Pan, but in a way, it kind of is a little scary if you think about Peter Pan across the board, how he treats Wendy. Just saying, I don't think he's a bad Peter Pan, but it's just I'm older now, so I was kind of taken aback.
Right. No, I totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Let's see here.
And I mean, there's so many different Peter Pans. Which one are you going for now?
I'm gonna go for the movie Pan from 2015.
Yeah, 2015. I saw that movie for the first time today too.
Oh, did
Yeah,
you?
I
Nice.
did.
So this kid was definitely a little bit younger, in my opinion.
Yes, and I think that was appropriate.
Yeah. And yeah, his pan was decent. Of course, it wasn't your typical Peter Pan flying, doing all that stuff. But I guess this was supposed to be for a like before he was flying and
Right, a little bit
taking
more of the
off.
origin story.
Yeah, kind of like an origin type of situation. um,
Um,
so yeah, I thought he did decent.
I didn't like him.
You didn't like him in this one?
Ah.
I thought he was decent. I think I liked him better in this one than the one we just talked about, Peter Pan 2003.
No, he just
No, what was your opinion on that?
I think he just seemed a little too normal. And this is where it's conflicting with Peter Pan, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
might have an idea of who and what Peter Pan is. And again, is he a flying elf or is he a lost English boy? And,
Right.
in growing up with the Disney version, he's
Supposed to
this,
be like a flying
he's a
elfish.
flying elf, right? And so I kind of like the origin story. I'm a big fan of Peter and the Starcatchers. Beautiful job.
Right.
It's just that this kid had, and I think in this particular movie, in Pan, kind of has a too much of an attitude that wasn't believable for me. I mean, there's
Right. His attitude was more of he's the good kid. He wants to be good. He wants everything to be good, and he thinks everybody else should be good as well. And
plus
I
this
guess
movie was just flat out weird.
yeah, that's true. And that's not really his character in the other movies either. So that's true. It is a little strange. You're right.
Yeah.
What's it? Hugh Jackman plays Blackbeard, and I didn't understand that either because this
Yeah,
is
why
supposed to be
Blackbeard?
Neverland.
Yeah.
Why is Blackbeard in Neverland?
Oh, he's on my list. Don't worry, people. When we get around talking about Hook, we'll tell the difference.
There you go.
Are we not even going to take the time to mention what was her name? Is it Mary Martin?
That girl that was in this movie? Yeah.
No, the lady who plays as Peter Pan. We're not going to mention her. Is she on the board?
Oh, from
The
what?
theater,
The
theater
live,
edition. Yeah.
the live one.
Yeah.
She is on the board because I do like Christopher Walken, and he was the one who played Captain Hook. Is that the one we're talking about?
We are not talking about the same thing.
Not talking about the same thing. Okay, never mind. If you have a picture, bring it up. Because I
Let
don't
me
think
go
I do.
find her. Okay. Yeah. I think I've got her right over here. Christopher Walken. What movie? I may have missed that movie.
Well, it wasn't a movie; it was a live theater. So I wanted to
Oh,
talk a little bit about live theater. But yeah, I mean, I obviously I didn't watch it, but you know, his Captain Hook costume looks really cool. So
okay. I don't know what. I don't know which one it is that you're talking about. I'll have to look. But let me get this lady's picture going
yeah,
up.
yeah, get the lady's picture up there.
Yeah, so that we all can understand. If anybody's in the chat knows who I'm talking about, please let me know. Tell me I'm not the only one. Okay, I remember this lady. I watched her growing up at my pastor's house, actually. So this movie kind of holds a dear place in my heart. But
Oh,
um,
okay, yeah.
Mary
What was
Martin,
that back in the 70s?
1960.
Oh, 60s, right, right.
Yeah, Mary Martin. I remember watching this, and it did seem kind of confusing to me. Like I said, at my pastor's house, because
Right.
it's like this is
It's supposed to be a boy, not a
it's not Peter
female.
Pan, but I'm a kid, so what do I know? I just thought it was cool how the music was really cool, and the music was really fun, and the fact that they actually got her to fly, if you will, because as a kid, live action,
Yeah.
I don't
Ooh,
understand, you
flying.
know.
Right.
So Mary Martin,
Cut it
I will say, while I think, and this is funny, like the whole gender swapping thing before it was cool, right? I'm not really
Right.
sure why they decided to make Peter Pan a female. This is not the first time that they have done that,
No,
but
exactly.
um, I think she did a good job, to be honest. I kind of rewatched that again today. I got my catch up on Peter Pan's today, and I actually think that Mary Martin did a good job of as an adult capturing the whimsy of Peter Pan, the
Gotcha.
confidence and the whimsy, not so much the arrogance.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
which
I
I know.
don't remember that movie much at all, so I can't
Okay.
say too much about it. So
Now,
I probably have seen it once, a long time ago, but don't know much about that one.
all right,
So
show me yours. I don't think I've ever knew that Christopher Walken was Captain Hook.
yeah, look, check this out.
Who is that? What
Right
in the
there,
world?
Captain Hook, Christopher Walken.
What was the name
Um,
of this movie?
it's live. It's I think it. I don't remember. I think it's
Okay.
just a live play, uh, and they may
Okay.
have filmed it. I don't know.
Kind of like a
And
Broadway edition or
yeah, I
something.
think it's like a Broadway edition. Yeah,
No, I
and I think this person over here is a chick as well.
was gonna
Um,
say I think so. Interesting. And why did they do that? Isn't that interesting? Like we nowadays we get all up in arms about stuff, but they were doing all this back in the day for whatever reason.
yeah, of course they did
He
a
all
lot.
right. Christopher Walken is hilarious, I think, when he speaks. So
Yeah, he would.
I'm curious to know how was he as
It would be a
Captain
funny
Hook?
Captain Hook. It's time.
Yes, the pauses. They
Uh,
call it the walk-in comma, right? You've heard of the
right.
regular comma, the Oxford comma, and then there's the walk-in comma. And I love it. The way he speaks, there's a comma between every second word.
He does. Yeah, he does.
I
So,
can only imagine what kind of a Captain Hook he must have been. Oh my gosh.
it would be cool to watch it for sure. I mean, I'm intrigued. You know, just because I like the costume. It's beautiful.
Well, but
Um,
so Peter Pan though, how did she fare as Peter Pan?
I don't know.
Oh, you've never seen.
I've never seen it. No.
Oh, so we can't
I
really
mean,
judge her then, can we?
not really. We could judge the costume. I really don't like this costume.
The costume looks
But-
very Party City, Halloween spirits. Yeah, it
right.
just like it almost looks like a worn out version of the Legend of Zelda, like Link's outfit
Right.
from like Breath of the Wild or something like that. It's really in shambles. It's not good. It's not good at all.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, Celebrity Jeremy. We are
Yeah.
talking about Peter Pan right now, the different versions of Peter Pan. As you can see, I'm sporting the pan. and we're just talking about the best and the worst.
I'm sporting the hook.
And just let us know if you have a favorite Peter Pan as well. By the way, we've talked about Mary Martin. We have talked about that little blonde kid seducing Wendy.
Peter Pan 2003.
I don't know his name, but
and then Pan from 2015.
Right, and of course the
with
classic
Hugh Jackman, and then the classic cartoon.
Oh, he says Robin Williams hands down. I think we were going to get to Robin Williams.
We were going to get there. I was going to make him the last and then start.
Okay, all right. Let's save him. All right. Who's next on the list?
The next on the list is, if anyone's ever seen this TV show, it's called Once Upon a Time. And this Peter Pan, I think they did a good job on him.
Oh, yes.
He definitely was more of the 15, 16-year-old type. And he was definitely a creep,
Well, spoilers. I mean, Once Upon a Time, they celebrated last year, I think, it's been 10 years since Once Upon a Time first aired. So if you guys haven't seen Once Upon a Time, we'll try not to spoil anything. But yeah, this guy, he did a good job being evil Peter Pan, I will say. He had the impishness, he had the confidence. He did have the cockiness. Like Once Upon a Time is a different twist to our classic characters as it is anyway. And so with that in mind, I think that this guy, I forget his name, but I think he did a fantastic job, honestly, as Peter Pan. And the story that they created for him was really good. And I didn't mind his outfit either. Once Upon a Time,
decent, yeah.
They put a lot of effort into the costumes, which we the fans appreciate and still talking about today.
Definitely. Most definitely.
No need to apologize, Celebrity Jeremy. I wasn't sure which Peter Pan we were doing next. I just knew we needed to talk about the late, great, wonderful Robin Williams at some point.
That's it.
Since he's our last on the list of Peter Pans.
Yes, unless you have others you want to talk about. But
nope, I got nothing. I basically only went with the Peter Pans that I've seen.
Right. So me too. Me too.
Except for that one.
Yeah, except for the one.
Except for the one. Okay, there he is. Robin Williams, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Okay, Dan, I want to hear your thoughts. You go first.
Yeah, I loved I'll be honest, this was a movie that I watched when I was a kid. I loved this one way better than the cartoon.
Okay.
And I loved how they made him. He grew up and then he came back to Neverland, and then he's trying to, maybe fix things that doesn't seem to be correct, and he's like, you guys are little children. What are you doing out here? What are you, like, he's like,
you're barely old enough to shave.
Yeah, exactly. What's going on over here? And then he forgot who he was, so he doesn't really realize who he is and stuff. And then when he does remember who he was, he puts in the old him with the young him, so like his maturity level is better, and he's not like that cocky, oh look at me, he had a couple of moments where he was like, look at me, but at the same time it was more of
he was a prestigious businessman, of course.
It was more about his kids when he, because like it seemed to me like he was almost forgetting why he was in Neverland, and then he was like, oh wait, my kids,
he's having a dad moment, mom brain.
Right, exactly. So
right,
you know what, I think hands down I liked Robin Williams' rendition way better than everybody else's. I mean, really, in my opinion, you can't. I know it is a bold statement, but in my opinion, you can't top it. They've tried, and I don't think they've succeeded. So
I think
look at that costume. Look at all these, like they got like leaves all over.
Come on, his costume's not that great.
I like it.
Come on. That kid with the ivy strapped around his chest looks better than this.
Oh yeah, sure. Because he's got skin showing. That's why.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the whole reason why. I'm sorry, I was just happened to read, if you don't mind, Celebrity Jeremy's comment that was saying, I
Oh, yeah,
loved how
go
they
ahead.
equated him with being a lawyer to a pirate. Peter Pan became a pirate, such a twist. This
Yeah,
movie, Backyard Tortoise, I believe it was him, mentioned that a couple of streams ago, um, somehow we got to talking about Hook. I think because Dan was talking about how he's making his pirate costume and everything. By
mm,
the way, everybody, Dan made this. Go ahead,
made it from
just
scratch, everybody.
shock and
Made my
awe,
hat.
okay? But is the fact that this is such a cool take on this original movie or on the original story is the Peter Pan grown up. Like who did
Yeah,
that? He thought of that. And then the twist, yeah, the fact that he forgot who he was and how could you forget such an experience? But he got so wrapped up in life that he did and gets to go back and it's just so cool. But I cannot say that this is my favorite Peter Pan because this is a widely different kind of Peter Pan because he's an
right.
adult, you know.
Oh, that's
Um,
true. That's true.
but I will say I think Robin Williams really great choice to play this role because we all know he was quirky, he was the master at ad-libbing, just a hilarious individual, and the fact that he could tone it down, right? So it's like he's acting like a normal, if you will, a normal, mature, no nonsense adult. But then when he gets to Neverland, just lets a little bit of that whimsy out, right? So
Yeah.
that it reflects the kid he used to be. I think it was a great choice. I love this movie. I do think that it was well made, if a little bit, I mean, it was back in the day. This was like 1991. But I
Mhm.
feel like it's kind of timeless. It's something that you can always go back and watch. The Dame Maggie Smith is in there too. I didn't realize that. So I'm like, and of course, Dustin Hoffman as Hook. This was a um, fantastic movie. Definitely. I can't say he's my favorite, but I did enjoy it because it's like it's a
Right.
whole nother branch of a different kind of Peter Pan.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that. I
Hmm.
still think he's probably one of my favorites, at
Sure.
least, you know. And then now we'll go talking about Hook.
Do you want to
Well,
take this time
before
to tell the people about the awesome stuff that we have available?
I was thinking the same
You
thing.
were thinking the same thing.
That's right.
That's right.
So that's right. That's right. So, everybody, don't forget to vanquish the like button, uh, which we have a doohickey here. Boom! Vanquish that like button. Smash it. Boom, boom, boom. I love it. And then, yeah, and then
Be
I
sure to
was
subscribe if you're new here. And if you're not new
always
here, then of course be sure to ring the little bell. Make sure you get
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding.
exactly. So you get notified of all our upcoming videos that we do because we go live every Tuesday and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And sometimes we sneak in a little extra goodie during the week. We've been doing a lot of trailer reactions. They've been getting a lot of traction. People have been very kindly informing us on how much we do not know about Indian cinema lately. So if you want to
That's
check out
right.
what we do and do not know, check out our
That's right.
trailer reaction and KGF, if I get
That's
that
right.
right.
KGF.
KGF trailer reaction that we just released. What was it, yesterday? So be sure to check
Yeah.
that out. And of course, we've got some others if you want to see our thoughts. We've got some cool videos out for your enjoyment. And hey, Miss
That's
Martin
right.
uses. That's right. That's
That's
right.
right. I'm waving with
Plus,
my hook.
of course, you guys know it's getting to be that colder time of year, depending on where you live. And if you happen to be like, the cat JT, and you live out in Arizona somewhere where it's still really warm, you're most likely going to travel. You're going to need a hoodie. You're going to need a neck gaiter or a sweater or something like that. Be sure to head over to insidetheboothtv.com where you can check out our merch store and get you some really cool stuff. Because 'tis the season, everybody. 'Tis the season.
That's right. 'Tis the
Yes.
season.
So,
Beautiful. I love it. Commercial break.
Commercial over and intermission. I believe in that Peter Pan movie with Mary Martin. There was actually an intermission in that because it was so long. Because it was like a theater production.
Oh, right,
So,
exactly. That's
cool
fun. Also, yeah, I forgot Patreon. If you like what we do here, hit up Patreon. Become a Patreon member for just $1 a month, and that helps us to do what we do here to spread it out to everybody else. So thank you for everything.
But I mean, Dan, what is it that we do here?
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I just had to show off our awesome merch one more time because not only do we have the sweaters, we've got the mugs, and everybody likes a nice mug to keep your hands warm during the holidays.
And that's where all the real money of the movie is made. The podcast.
Right. Inside the Booth, the movie. Live every Tuesday and Sunday. It's the only live video, the only live movie ever in the world.
That's right.
Okay, so we talked. If you guys are new here and you've not caught the first half of the show, we are talking about the best and worst Peter Pans, at least the first half. And we went around and talked about all the different varieties. Some I had never even heard about, and some that Dan wasn't even aware of. Now it's time to talk about the Hook.
Hello, Uncle Mike. How are you?
Hey, Uncle Mike. The Hook. So. There's a lot of them. So we want to start off with Dustin Hoffman since he's right there, which, by the way, I had no idea was Dustin Hoffman till I got older, which I think was a nice surprise for me because he's a great actor.
He is a good actor. Dustin Hoffman, I think he knocked it out of the park. He was a good Hook. Probably one of my favorites. Probably out of all these is probably going to be one of the top ones.
Yeah.
Definitely, most definitely. He definitely did. It was not like the cartoon style. He was more of a, like a nitty gritty pirate captain.
He wasn't such a doofus like in the cartoon.
But very, very elegant in his clothing. I mean, I love his costume. His costume is probably one of the best ones I've seen. There are some that are very beautiful as well, but I think this one just like. Has that
it's regal,
but at the same time it's very decorated,
I mean, I don't think it's very realistic as pirates go, but this movie, if you've ever seen Hook, it's very exaggerated. The mermaid's hair there's all kinds of weird colors, and then there's Rufio with his 3-tiered mohawk and with the orange reddish hair and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, but yeah, definitely a very elegant and I would say believable costume as far as privateer maybe.
yeah I mean, I love it. I love
he did
the
great job.
Fluffy poofy ruffle sleeves there.
Dan likes him some lace.
That's it. My lace. I didn't make mine though. I do have the material to make it. I just didn't have time to finish that up.
Lace? Lace is hard to make, man.
Lace, the lace ruffle sleeves and the lace ruffle neck.
Oh, you mean like sewing it on there? I was gonna say lace to make lace, crocheting lace takes a billion years.
No. I just bought the material. I didn't do it myself.
Okay, I was gonna say, Dan, I realize you're a Renaissance man, but I didn't realize you were top tier. Okay. Dude. But yeah, I would definitely say this is one of the best hooks that out there for sure. Miss Martin Reza says she crochets like, girl, you are top tier. You are top tier because that is hard.
Maybe I should buy someone else's lace and then make my ruffle cuffs from someone else.
There you go.
We'll have to get together, Miss Martin Muse. Maybe I'll use yours instead of what I bought.
Make Dan some collars, Miss Martin Muses. Make him some lace. Dan wants to go all out. So, yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, I like what Celebrity Jeremy said too. His interaction with Bob Hopkins as Smee was amazing, and he did a great Smee. I liked Bob Hopkins Smee,
He did.
for sure.
Which is interesting because I think in the book, Smee was trying to take Wendy for himself, not Captain Hook. Or
Really,
I haven't read it. I just read a snippet of it, so it's hard to say. Okay, I saw a Hook that I've never seen before in my life today, and I was surprised, but not really surprised after I thought about it. How much I enjoyed it and thought it did well is going to be from the 2003 Peter Pan movie, and that would be Jason Isaacs' performance as Captain
yes.
Hook. I did not know that he had ever been Captain Hook before. And by the way, guys, you can follow us on Twitter at Inside the Booth, and you can also follow me at Dreaming Tabitha. That's my icon over there. But we're also on Facebook and Instagram and on Rumble. But
Yes,
you,
I did
I,
like this guy's Hook. He played a great Hook, I think. Yes, go ahead, keep talking.
well, I'm just saying his like kind of like what you were saying, like his costume
Mhm.
was really fabulous. Although I can't say I like the underside of his hat there, where it looks like it's been torn and those ridges. It almost looks like a rib cage been torn open, but that's just me. But the embellishments and everything, and just Jason Isaacs' performance.
Well,
I
here-
mean, he is such a fantastic actor. Like I may or may not have something of a girl crush on him.
yeah.
Just
Here's
because.
another photo of him. And if you look at the ridges, they look more like gold inlay um,
Yeah.
pieces that go down most of the rim.
It must have just been a bad photo, or maybe during the time in the movie when he got torn up or something like that.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, I like the interpretation of his Hook too. It's a little bit more menacing.
Yeah.
I thought he was a little bit more menacing than the cartoon version as well.
Oh, of
And
course, for sure.
I just Jason Isaacs does such a great job being this elegant, classy villain.
Yeah, and the
I just
costume's
love
very
it.
nice.
Him and my man Sean Bean. Yes. So I would have to say I really like this version of Captain Hook that I'd seen for the first time a Zoo Day.
Nice.
Nice. And Soul Assassin says, Dan the Musketeer, is Tabitha a more edgy Tinkerbell? Well, I do have me some
The
pointy
ears.
ears. I do. I'm practicing for the Renaissance Fair this weekend. I'm probably going to go as a steampunk pixie pirate, animal pelt peddler. I'm going as all the stuff this weekend. May or may not wear the hat. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm representing Peter Pan. Dan is representing Captain Hook, and we have just talked about our favorite Peter Pans. Now we're going through our hooks. So, Dan, did you like this guy? What's
I
the
did
next
like
one?
this Hook. I think he did a wonderful job. Obviously, as a movie in a whole, it was iffy, but his Hook was definitely better than the Pan of this movie. So I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him. Not as good as Dustin Hoffman, but I liked him. He was a good Hook. I liked his Hook.
Mhm.
The style.
Man, I may or may not find them on equal playing ground. Just saying.
Yeah, they're probably not on equal playing grounds.
I think so, but again, it's kind of like two different interpretations of Hook. One is, I will say, Jason Isaacs' character was a little bit more like the cartoon, and as far as a little bit more goofy, not much, but a little bit more. But see, the GilkMan's on my side. I love Jason Isaacs as Captain Hook.
That's right.
Don't read that comment. No, that's not what we're focusing on, Dan. But Dustin Hoffman's, there was a little bit of goofiness in that one too, just because again the vibe of the movie. So I don't know.
Right. Especially when he wanted to kill himself, he was like, "Death is the only adventure for me, Smee. This time, don't try to stop me, Smee. This time, don't try to stop me, Smee." And he's like, "I won't." And he goes, "Try to stop me, Smee. Get over here. I'm trying to commit suicide."
See,
that part was kind of funny, you know?
Exactly. But there's a little bit of you know, a little bit of goofiness to it.
Right. All right. His
All right.
favorite version is Cyril, Richard, and Peter
Cyril?
Pan.
Oh, okay. I got him. Okay, I know what he's talking about. I was going to bring up this pirate here too. He is from the Mary Martin Peter Pan, the theatrical version, right?
Oh, okay.
And now, all right, he's kind of goofy looking. I get it. Okay. But I actually think he did a good job. GilkMan, I'm so glad that you're here. Dude, thank you.
He's got that mark that oh
The
goodness.
beauty mark. Yeah. The
Yeah,
mole.
that big beauty mark over here. The big beauty mark that what's his name has on his for theater. Gosh,
What, Christopher
what was his
Walken?
name? What was his name again? We just talked about him.
Jason Isaac, Dustin Hoffman.
The other one way back when, like 10
Uh,
minutes earlier,
I,
talking about.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, how did I forget his name? All right, here. This guy. What?
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Christopher Walken. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
how can I forget? Wow. Anyways, yeah, he had the mark on his cheek too. Boop, boop. See over here.
Yeah. A little
All
Spidey in the house says, I can't wait to watch Captain Hook show on Disney Plus starring Dan from Inside the Booth. Hey, little
That's
Spidey.
right.
But yeah, I have to say, I did like Cyril. I think that might be how you pronounce it. I did like Cyril Richard as Captain Hook just because, again, some of that quirkiness, some of that goofiness, but he still did a good job being a menacing pirate, I think. So.
Right.
The GilkMan, dude, he's really passionate about Captain Hook because he says that Christopher Walken sucks as Captain Hook. He has the New York accent, which ruins the captain. Although I would love to see it because Christopher Walken, I love to hear him talk. So I can only imagine Christopher Walken as a pirate would be hilarious.
It would be awesome. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, little Spidey, thank you. Yeah, we're trying to keep things clean here. He's on your side, though, Dan. He says, GilkMan, that's not a nice thing to say about Dan. It's true. It's true.
That's right. Thank you.
It's true. Thank you.
But I would
Little
like to
Spidey
see that.
is right
That
over
would be-
here. So, who's next on the agenda?
All right. Let me let's go with the cartoon.
Okay.
Cartoon Captain. Boom. Since we've been talking about him a lot as in comparison to these other two that we were talking about. Yeah, you know, and just like what we said about his goofiness, I guess I didn't like his goofiness as much.
I mean, he's a cartoon character. You
Right,
know?
he's a cartoon character, but he should have been a little bit more menacing, I think, because he's supposed to be a pirate, and he's like, come here, Peter Pan, I'm gonna get you, and he's
one
always
way or another.
it's like, I'm gonna get you, get you. But yeah, but he was fun to watch, definitely, and he also they use this version in the Jake and the Neverland Pirates, and he's fun to watch. He's because like he's a bobbling idiot, and he falls over all the time and stuff like that. It's fun.
Now, I will say that even as a child, I actually felt bad for Captain Hook because of his phobia or whatever. It's really his trauma from the crocodile. And honestly, at the end of it, like they did such a fantastic job capturing the terror in this cartoon character that it actually, even as a child, I felt bad for him. Like I wondered what was going to happen, and it just kind of crushed my soul that he may have been left to I did not like the crocodile. Like that kind of stuff.
Right.
That kind of
Peter
stuff
Pan
doesn't
chopped off his hand, fed it to
That
the
kind of stuff
crocodile.
doesn't sit well with Tabitha, even as a child. Like the suffering, even of horrible people like that, to be left alone, to be consumed in his mind with that
Right.
terror, like that did not sit well with me as a
Now
kid.
here's my question. Because Peter
But it was
Pan
good
was supposed to be
storytelling.
the good guy. I always thought, why would Peter Pan cut off his hand and feed it to the crocodile? What was the reason for it?
I'm sure it's in the book, and when I read it, I'll tell you, Dan.
All right. But
Probably.
they don't say anything in the cartoon about it. Just he cut off my hand, fed it to a crocodile. He doesn't like Peter Pan.
Well,
Um,
because they've always been at odds with one another, and so something happened. We'll say it was a cooking accident, and
cooking accident. There you
Captain
go.
Hook just never forgave him for it. Yeah. So he's not my favorite, but he's a good character. He's a classic, iconic Captain Hook for sure. I do have two least favorite Captain Hooks. I see you have him there. Oh, you did, yeah.
Yes, I'll bring him up.
Let's bring up this dude because he.
There we go. I like it. You don't like this one, huh?
I do not like him, Sam. I do not like this.
So Once Upon a Time, again, we're going back to Once Upon a Time. This is the Captain Hook from that movie. I like his costume, the leather look, more so than not, I guess.
I
definitely like the vest, though. The vest is a nice looking vest. It's more on the red side. It's got like some, I don't know. I'm more about the costume more than the character. But you're right. The character, he wasn't like mean enough. In my opinion. He was more.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
ahead.
he's a different kind of mean. I get what you're saying. He was very villainous, to be sure, but he wasn't like aggressive per se, like as you kind of would imagine Captain Hook to be. He didn't come at people with his hook necessarily and try to he was definitely a very he not to use a pirate pun, but he would ride the waves. Basically, he would take advantage of a situation and basically poison the water in order to get what he wants. And
Right.
Okay, Celebrity Jeremy, I hear you. This guy is like if they stuck Hook in Twilight. Yes. So this guy, he's handsome. He did a good job acting. I'm going to give him kudos. I think he was a good actor. I just don't like this portrayal of Hook at all because all he is this schmarmy, again, another seductive character who is conflicted about being in love with a good girl. And it just gets on my freaking ever-loving nerve. This was not the couple I wanted to see happen in this show. And not that I was watching it for couples. I don't do that. I'm not into that stuff. But anyway, I agree with the GilkMan as well. It's just like he was not a good Captain Hook because he was just basically a sad. Different. Well, they started making a lot of these characters, especially Captain Hook. He had such a dark, devastating past, and he was broken because he didn't have true love. And so those are my thoughts.
Different, for sure, different. That's what I'll say.
Costumes were fantastic. The man did a good job. I just hated the storyline for Captain Hook.
Right.
Yes, emo Hook was what Celebrity Jeremy says, for sure.
I think that's why a lot of people thought he was good looking because he got that emo look, the leather.
Yeah, he had that dirty, that grungy bad boy vibe, and maybe it's because Tabitha doesn't dig that, but I think it's just because I wasn't persuaded that he was a pirate. Okay,
right.
He was a dude in leather on a ship with a hook.
Yeah, he didn't do a great job being a pirate per se.
Yeah.
For sure.
And throwing in words like landlubber and blimey and swab the deck don't make you a pirate, okay?
I want to go back over to. Sorry, I should have done this after the cartoon one first.
Okay.
But let's go to him. So the guy who spoke for Captain Hook in the cartoon was this guy right here, and he dressed as Captain Hook in this. This is what I read in the studios, so that they would take so they knew what to draw, you know, when they drew him. So they actually
Really?
drew basically him as Captain Hook.
I was
in
gonna
the cartoon.
say he
Um,
looks very similar. Besides the costume, like even the face. Yeah.
right, and I mean, there's a bunch of pictures of him too, and different style hooks that he's got and stuff like that. It was
That
pretty
is cool.
interesting to look at, you know. So and to read about. So I definitely liked that. So I just wanted to mention that because this
Yeah.
is the guy who voiced Hook.
Honorable mentions.
That's right. That's right. Um, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Anyways, did you want to?
I have one last least favorite Captain Hook,
Okay.
which breaks my heart because of the exceptional actor who plays as him. Who's this freaking weirdo? Look, what? What?
Well,
Again-
he actually didn't play Captain Hook. He was Blackbeard,
okay, right, but like,
but he was the pirate of that movie. You're right, which was
yeah.
strange. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's kind of cheating to say so, but what did they do to our man Hugh Jackman? They did him so dirty. This was like
they
the
did.
weird, effeminate version of a pirate that was also goofy. Now, I mean, Hugh Jackman does a great job in the role. Again, kind of like the previous guy I was talking about. He does a good job in this character. I just think it's a horrible character.
Right.
Um,
So
it
here
would
is the Hook for the movie. He played James Hook. This guy here.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember
I
his
must
name.
have missed that part because this movie was kind of weird and boring.
Oh, it was a strange movie for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I missed that part. Okay, well,
It
let me say
definitely
then the pirate guy that I don't understand why they made him. I don't understand this movie. Yeah, like I give kudos to Hugh Jackman because he's totally pulling off a Johnny Depp extravaganza here as far as I
Right.
never knew that was Hugh Jackman until I read it. Like they did so much with his costume and makeup
Right.
that
And
he's
they
being a
should
whole
they
other
actually should have gave him for being a black beard, he should have had a full beard, not just this goatee.
yeah. There's
That
got to
was
be a
so
reason you
strange.
have a name like that, exactly, that where you're
Yeah.
identified and known as. And so I give kudos to the makeup crew and everything for how they transformed him. And I
Mhm.
had no idea that was him all these years until I looked it up. But yeah, as the main character of this thing, which is he essentially is Captain Hook in this story.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
Essentially, yeah.
Ugh. That's all I'm saying on it.
Main pirate.
I was freaked out when I saw
Yeah.
him when he first shows up and he's got like this tutu winged feathered and then the wig. No.
Yeah.
No.
This guy's Hollywood Hook. I disliked everything about this movie. This movie is horrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is. It's not a great movie.
Like
Which kind of
what's
sucks because, like you said, I love Hugh Jackman.
yeah.
Hugh Jackman's great, you know. So yeah, it's yeah.
So this guy,
And then the guy who
And-
does play James Hook, he wasn't mean enough. He was more of like, you know, I don't know, more of like a older Peter Pan before this kid becomes Peter Pan, you know, and then like roles change. I don't know. It was
Well-
definitely a strange movie.
so I like I said, it was really difficult to even pay attention to this movie. So I kind of skipped through just so I could get the gist of it. But apparently I missed a part. So like what happens with Peter Pan and James Hook? Like how do they become enemies? Do they explain that?
They don't even explain that. In the end of the movie, as they're sailing away on Blackbeard's Jolly Roger boat, the kid goes, "Well, we're going to be friends forever, right, James Hook?" And he's like, "I sure hope so,
Sure
kid."
do.
And then
Oh
that's
my
basically like the end of it.
The PBS special of Peter
Yeah.
Pan.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. So it was definitely, you know, yeah, they don't even explain how they hate each other afterwards or whatever. I mean, maybe they were thinking they were gonna do like a sequel, but the movie sucked so bad that
Great
they're like,
storytelling.
sorry, we're not gonna make a sequel now. Yeah, really bad storytelling.
Fantastic.
For sure. All right. Is that the last one? Oh, I also want to do one more of those honorable mentions.
Ooh, an honorable
Since
mention.
we already talked about Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
I'm
that's
curious
bad.
to know who this last one is. Celebrity Jeremy says, I cringed so hard. I think I injured myself.
All right, so this is a photo of Jude Law. It's not a good picture of him, but
Jude Law was Captain Hook.
they are filming a new Peter Pan movie at Disney, and Jude Law is going to be Hook. So this is his Hook, part of his Hook costume. I can't find too much on the internet, but you know,
right? Because it's still new. Yeah.
and
Okay.
it's still I don't know if they're filming or if they're editing yet or what, and I don't know when it's coming out, but yeah. So Jude Law, which I like Jude Law, and I sure hope he does a great job as Captain Hook. The GilkMan says this could be good. Jude Law can be good in things.
He's a good actor for
he
sure.
Is a good actor. I definitely love his other movies, because he is a good actor. Who's the writer? That I don't know. I didn't look into that.
Maybe it's just me, but I think I just have something against skinny pirates. So, I want them to be a little bit broader, a little bigger for me to take them seriously. I guess Jude Law is a great actor. I just wish that he was a little. I'm not saying necessarily muscular, but I don't know, just kind of and even in Pirates of the Caribbean, I mean, Johnny Depp was of course he wasn't fat, but he still looked bigger, but he was a little bit different. He was Captain Jack Sparrow, of course, but he wasn't an authoritative captain. Let me put it this way. I like my authoritative captains, right, the bad ones anyway, to be a little bit on the broader side. I don't know why, but Captain Barbossa and then Blackbeard in Pirates of the Caribbean, and then even all these other captains that we're looking at, they just look a little bit more mature. And I think that I just respect them as pirates and captains more than if they're younger. I think that's what I have issue with. So I look at Jude Law here, and he honestly could be he could be a ramshackled concierge.
Right. Oh, here's a picture. Oops. Yeah, that's a good one. Sorry, go. You can keep talking about it.
Oh, well, I mean, I was just reading in the chat, but yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it that I just, this looks really weird, but this could just be you see sneakers in the back. He's just standing there. He's got, I think, one of those face protector things on, but
that's what that is. Yeah. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that they were still doing that. What's going on? I thought that was over.
People be freaking out about whatever, but he's just standing there. But at this current moment, just looking at him, he doesn't look respectable. He doesn't look menacing. He doesn't look interesting. He looks very bland. He easily could pass for a side character, and
right.
I don't understand that. So,
hey, Jimmy Rizzo, why don't you get a hold of me on Twitter or Facebook, and we can talk, and maybe we can see if we can get you on one of our streams. So, yeah, check us out. Twitter and Facebook.
Celebrity Jeremy said Jude Law is Professor Hook. Yes, that's pretty.
He definitely looks more like a professor. Sure.
Yeah, he just doesn't look interesting or menacing at all, and I don't know. So I wouldn't bother with Jimmy Rizzo. He has turned down our hospitality. I'm going to assume he's a bot. So.
All right.
Hey, but you can only try.
To come on this one. I don't know why, but We plan things here. We don't just allow just anybody to come on. Just to let
Despite
you know.
what some people might think, we do actually plan things here. Sometimes.
Yes.
But I like what the GilkMan says too. I'm of the same opinion. I'm going to wait until the trailer comes out to judge it fairly, for sure. Judging by just the picture alone, I don't think that he looks like a good,
Right. No,
But
totally.
you can tell that this is like in the off time, if you will, a little bit. Like I said, you can see that lady with the leggings and the he might not be in his full getup. It might be
Right, exactly. This could be just part of
he might
it.
have taken his hat off. He's hot. They might be having a coffee break here. So
Right, exactly.
but,
So you never know. I mean, these are just, I guess you would call these what, leaked pictures or something?
yeah, leak photographs and stuff like that. So Dan's got a guy on the inside snapping some photos.
That's
folks.
it. Taking
That's it.
photos.
So
All right. And that would be the last of the hooks, I think.
yeah, our best and worst, our personal favorites as far as Hook and Peter Pan goes. It was really great having this conversation with everybody, seeing our
Yeah,
different
exactly.
our favorite pirates and all these kinds of things. Definitely an interesting walkthrough, just from my experience as well, because some of these movies I'd never seen or heard of before until today. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess out of all of them, my favorite Hook would obviously be Dustin Hoffman. And the Pan, I guess, is a throw up, I mean, because they're
You mean
so
a toss?
different. Yeah, because they're so different, so it's like it's hard to say which one would be my favorite. And if we were to mix match the Pans with Hooks, which would what would be best? I mean, you never know. They might act differently with different people who was in the movies and stuff, or whatever. I mean, just thoughts,
Yeah,
So
for sure. But yeah, it was an interesting talk through. Thank you guys for being here and talking with us and sharing some thoughts. And of course, as always, be sure to like this video if you enjoyed this. And even if you didn't, it's just a nice thing to do on a Tuesday evening.
that's right.
And of course, if
Thanks
you're new
for-
here,
yeah.
please be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and watch our previous episodes because you'll get a kick out of them as well.
That's right.
That's right.
So thanks for being here, everybody. Did you already say subscribe to the channel?
I did. Oh, also, by the way, we've got a special episode coming up this Sunday evening. Like I said before, every Tuesday and Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this Sunday, we've got some extra special guests coming on talking about The Book Was Better. So, yes, we're going to be comparing some movies that should have stayed, books, and maybe some books that would make into great movies. We would love to have you there and share your opinions along with our awesome guests that are going to be with us. We're going to have some uber book nerds with us that are going to share their opinion on some of these beloved movies that people didn't actually know were books.
That's it.
So be there.
Beautiful. Be there or be square, everybody.
That's right.
We'll see you all later.
Are you not entertained?